I have a confession to make. The Carrie Corbet-owen that stares back at me from the mirror has grown skeptical of our current healthcare model. You know, the one that says if you just eat enough broccoli and go to the gym, you'll be thin and then you'll have health and longevity. In my 30 years as a clinical psychologist and doing research into its related fields, especially into the lives of centenarians, those people who live with good health to over 100, have led me to believe that there is a secret code to our health that few know about and even fewer talk about. And best of all, this code, regardless of your creed, color, class or country, is available to every single one of us, free. Jean Calmette, she missed a few health memos, like the one that says breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Despite never eating breakfast, loving pound cake and eating chocolate every single day, she lived to 122. As one article put it, due to an excess of olive oil, poor red wine, and red meat. Initially, I'd been searching for the secret to what these centenarians did to stay healthy. Only the pattern that I found was totally unexpected, because their health and longevity is less about what they do and more about how they are as they do. Let me give you an example. Emma Morano missed the memos on cholesterol and salmonella because she claims that her longevity secret was eating 2 raw eggs every day. And when they interviewed her doctor when she died at 117, he said, a little puzzled, you know, she ate a lot of candy. And then he added, but she ate it with childlike joy. Ha! Do you think that might be a clue? Do you think that your body might change how it absorbs and assimilates nutrients from food depending on your state of consciousness? Depending on whether you're eating with joy or guilt? Let me give you another clue. Dr. Bennett Braun is a psychiatrist in Chicago who specializes in multiple personality disorders. He has one patient who has up to 12 personalities. Now, in all but one of these personalities, this patient is deathly allergic to orange juice. He drinks it and breaks out into watery hives all over his body. But let him step into the consciousness known as Timmy, and instantly his hives disappear and he can drink orange juice without any ill effects whatsoever. It's not just Timmy. Another multiple personality sustained an injury in his left eye when he was young. Now, in all his personalities, this injury is absent, except when he revisits the consciousness of the personality in which this injury was sustained. Now, psychiatrists might call this a disorder, in which one person has 2 or more personalities, each with their own very select beliefs, attitudes and memories. But the psychologist in me, who has studied cell signaling, epigenetics, quantum theory and so much more, I'm curious by what secret is obscured when this is called a disorder. Because what the heck? If you had these blisters and the eye injury thing happening to you, how would you explain it? Wouldn't you think it's some kind of a miracle? I believe these biological changes point to something of immense importance when it comes to cracking our biological health code. You see, it wasn't Timmy's doings that had changed his allergy to orange juice. He hadn't changed his diet, stopped drinking orange juice, taken allergy medication, or even dropped his blood sugar. All he had done was to change the consciousness vibrating through his cells, and his biological self shifted to reflect that change. It's the same question I was asking myself as I examined those firewalkers who can walk half the length of a football field on coals of up to 1800 degrees Fahrenheit without burning their feet? And it's the same question I've been asking myself in the 5 years that I've been studying centenarians. Because just like Timmy, it's not their human doings that make a difference. They haven't chased down superfoods, chomped on chia seeds, worn Fitbits, or even had 101 different health checks. And the vast majority have never seen the inside of a gym or a health club. The more I've studied extreme shifters, what some might think of as multiple personalities, extreme survivors, those people over 100, and extreme believers, people like firewalkers, the more I've had to conclude that this is less about their human doings than their human beingness. I have this theory that has to do with vibration, vibratory consciousness to be more specific, because looking at Timmy and the eye injury guy, it seems to me the obvious conclusion is that consciousness creates biology. Let me say that another way. When you change your beingness, you change your biology. I believe centenarians show us exactly the same thing, except that their vibratory consciousness is slightly higher over many decades to produce their healthy longevity. So let's examine consciousness. But rather than asking what consciousness is, let's ask what consciousness does. Our level of consciousness generates a vibrational pattern that brings biological systems into either harmony and coherence, which creates health, or disharmony and incoherence, which creates disease and deterioration. And it's these unique health and disease notes added together over our lifetime that I think of as our biological body song. We all know what a good song feels like, don't we? How it feels in our body. Likewise, you know when your body song is sounding alarm or panic. Literally, if something moves you, it's changed the biological notes your body is playing. In short, your mind changes the vibrations your body emits. Let's envisage vitality and health like a piece of music being composed, with positive emotions vibrating through our body as bright, colorful, cheerful notes. So you might have yellow for kindness, red for love, blue for passion, each with their own chemical mix of oxytocin, serotonin, dopamine, and more. While negative emotions, they vibrate through us with their low vibration in deep, dark notes. For example, black notes for shame, dark grey notes for fear, and so on. Each with their chemical cocktail of adrenaline and cortisol, etc. Truth is, we all have a combination of these notes, but ask yourself, what is the predominant song that's playing through you? It's almost as if the body has a song sheet on which the note of every conscious state is recorded. If you could plot out every health and disease note over a minute, a week, a month, a decade, a lifetime, what would your body song sheet look like? What colors and biochemicals would dominate? I imagine that centenarians would have dark and light passages. Take my grandfather, for example, who lived to 101. He certainly didn't have an easy life. He lived through the Great Depression. He fought in both world wars. Granny had multiple miscarriages before she had a stroke and had one of her legs amputated. And he was financially never well off. And yet, I'm sure that if you looked at his body song sheet over a lifetime, it would have just had more colorful notes than the rest of us. Because it's the consciousness with which centenarians negotiate their way through life rather than what happens that really matters. Let's revisit those two multiple personalities. Seems to me that the secret revealed by them to us is that no matter what health condition you have, there exists another consciousness in which that does not exist in the physical body. To my way of thinking, it's almost as if Timmy's biological conductor has flipped to a new song sheet and is playing a different body song. And the eye injury guy It's as if his conductor has flipped back to a previous song sheet and is playing that body song again. What's clear from this is that we can all command our biological conductor in much the same way. Do you want me to show you how without becoming a multiple personality? Okay, all close your eyes. Now I want you to pretend that in your hand you have a lemon. Feel its waxy, cool rind. Now take a knife and cut it in half and lift half of that lemon up to your nose and take a deep sniff. Smell that lemon. Now stick your tongue out and squeeze that lemon as hard as possible onto your tongue and notice what happens in your mouth. Okay, open your eyes. I'm willing to bet that some of you had a puckering and many of you, or most of you, had saliva forming. Truth is, there really wasn't a lemon. There was just an imagined lemon. And in those moments of revisiting the memory of that lemon, you recreated the biology that went with it. Because you see, our brain doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's imagined. This tells us that just like those multiple personalities, as we move in and out of memories, we're shifting and shaping our biology. Now let's revisit that firewalker. It's almost as if he has consciously chosen to play a new body song, and then he's visualized and practiced it over and over until that new consciousness plays through him and his cells. We can make these changes too. But as I show the companies I work with, in order to change an old pattern, we need to get out of our comfort zone of how a familiar tune and lyrics play through us, and play is a great way to do just that. So for example, you all know what the song Happy Birthday sounds like, don't you? You can hear the tune and the lyrics. But for right now, I want you to all stand up and join me. And this time, we're going to sing Happy Birthday as discordantly, as out of tune, as awfully as we possibly can. Ready? Join me. Happy birthday to you. Happy, happy birthday to you. Happy, happy, happy birthday to you. Okay, you can all sit down. Now, I know that that probably sounded terrible, but how did it feel? Because the first step is to disrupt your regular feelings and be willing to create a new feeling, because it's the feeling that creates the vibration of a new song. Did you notice how the energy in the room changed? Because you see, in that moment that you were singing that funny tune, you stepped into a new biological reality. You were creating new hormones and endorphins and adding new health notes to your body song sheet. Because here's the truth. The song vibrating through you right now doesn't just go inward to affect your cells. It goes out to affect your family, your teammates, your neighborhood, and ultimately our world. We all know people. You spend half an hour with them, you leave feeling drained and exhausted. And we all know people, you spend 10 minutes with them and you feel uplifted, more alive and more invigorated. It's there in a body song that we're experiencing. It's why I work with companies, because their employees' individual body songs contribute to the song their company is singing. And when we get them all to sing in harmony, productivity goes up and clients want more of that company's good vibration. As I say in my book, Your Body Song, 18 Minutes to Health, Happiness and Longevity, there's a body song that wants to be sung. All you have to do is let it find you. And if you could choose to change your song, what body song would you be singing? And how might that heal you and heal your life? At my annual retreats and workshops, I show people how this is the one place where we all qualified to write music, to rewrite our own biological body song. What would your life be like? How would it change if you were able to command your biological conductor to play the song your heart really wanted to sing. Take a moment and think about something you would like to feel. Gratitude, love, kindness, passion. Now close your eyes and think about what color that note might be, how it might vibrate through your system, what it might sound like. And if I was hovering above this room, looking down on all these notes leaving your body and I could sense them, what vibration would I see? What colors would be emerging? How would it affect my body song? Now before you open your eyes, gather up that feeling, because I want you to take it out into the world with you, because we can signal ourselves for health. That's how we do it. And when we do that, remember, it goes out into the field, out into our world, out into the soup of creation. Now go and sing your song. Don't wait. Do it today. Do it every